Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? Torrance here for another episode of Torrance Talks. Coming on back discussing leveraging opportunities in today's market. People are always asking me, or I'm getting gentle text from folks, how's the market? How's it going? What's going on? And, market's busy. We're excited about it. There are new opportunities in the market. You just have to have your eyes open. And part of that, having your eyes open, is partnering with the right lender. And today we want to bring in a very special guest of mine, Vernon Chandler, Southeast Mortgage, Atlanta native. We're starting to see, as I've always said, less and less Atlanta natives, you know, that are out in the industry, just out and about. But it's what makes Atlanta special, to have a melting pot. And without further ado, Vernon Chandler, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, Torrance, but before my
Yeah,
Gary, Indiana hometown people beat me up.
no, I,
I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, but I'm from Atlanta.
for
I
how
moved
many
here.
years, Vernon? How many
I
years you been
moved
in
here in
Atlanta?
1986 as a wet behind the ears ninth grader at Lakeshore High School in College Park. So yeah, I'm from here.
I said, well, it's like meeting a brother that's like, I'm from Detroit, but I've been in Atlanta 50 years. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
you're from Atlanta, buddy.
I'm from Atlanta. Yeah, I'm from here. I'm College Park. But yeah, I don't want whenever I go back to Gary, I don't want to get beat down. So
Oh, fair. This is thank you for the clarity. Oh man. All right, Vernon. What are you seeing now? Tell us a little bit about who you are, please, and thanks for gracing us with your presence. So please tell us a little bit about who you are and maybe what you're seeing in the market today.
Yes. So Vernon Chandler, Vice President at Southeast Mortgage Corporation. Been in the mortgage industry for 25 years. I started when I was in the eighth grade. Um, what I'm seeing in the market, I get asked often, is now the time to buy?
Right.
And then my rebut is, do you need a house? So
Hmm.
yes, it's a good time to buy. I see the market, it's hot. Inventory is not the best and it's
Right.
not robust, but now is the time to buy because it's better, it's easier to purchase a home than it was, let's say, a year ago, because at that time, you were doing a bidding war with 50 other people.
Yep.
Towards you have an open houses and it's cars wrapped around the block.
I've had some Instagram posts with 30 cars, 40 cars,
Hmm.
200
Hmm.
showings. That was real, man.
Yep. You had to bid 50,000 over ask, waive all contingencies. Seller was not contributing anything towards closing costs.
Yep.
Now I am seeing that those things are not the case. That the seller is contributing towards closing costs. You don't have to overshoot that much. Sometimes you may, but not to the extreme measure that it was, say, a year ago. So now the market is great.
Are you seeing when the appraisals come back? Are you seeing things come in at contract price or a little bit higher, a little bit over contract price?
Um, most cases a little bit over. It's funny. I just got an appraisal back yesterday. I think we were like 30,000 a new build. We were like
Right.
30,000 over the contract sales price, and this is really going to work in the buyer's favor because short on money, so the builder can do some things to increase the price and cover some more closing costs. So yeah,
There you go, man. Well, I feel it and I see the same thing. So, but you guys are getting the contracts across your desk, so it's always good to pick your brain to see how you're
mhm.
maneuvering. Um, I was gonna say, all right, what about on the lending side? From week to week, it's almost like I would say a crapshoot. It felt like a crapshoot. It's like you just close your eyes, roll the dice, and call a lender and say, "What's going on this week? Is the
so
roller
so
coaster slowing down? What's going on? Like, how does it feel, man, in your office? And what's the vibe right now for you
so
being a mortgage person?"
so the vibe is great. We're optimistic people. You have to be
Yeah,
100% commissioned for 25 years.
25 years.
Um, but I am seeing mortgage companies are shutting their doors. Um, and a lot of the ones that are doing that are people who weren't the most prudent in their business practices. So Southeast Mortgage has been in operation with the same name for 30 years. And
Wow.
because of our leadership and our forward thinking. So yeah, we're here to stay. We're planning on filling voids that the other lenders, though, those people that are, carpetbaggers that are not here in the city, in the
Right.
state of Georgia. who don't know. I mean, there's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. This is an aside, but
No, you're good.
I work for a company out of California.
Yep.
The time, 3 hour time difference. Georgia and California are two totally different markets. I had to pay storage fees in the hotel for a guy because of that lapse. So I said I would never ever do that again. So no, Southeast Mortgage of Georgia. We're here in the market.
But the cool thing too is you guys lend in other states too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi. Those are our footprints at this point.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, I got a chance to meet Cal years ago. Great CEO, man. I've enjoyed, connecting with him. He's very positive and motivating guy every time I see him. So
he reminds me, like, we're the official lending partner of the Georgia Bulldogs,
right?
And seeing Kirby get those guys ready before a game, Cal is like that. He'll have you ready to run through a wall. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so check this out. I want to keep moving here. We'll talk to the novice folks because there are a lot. Atlanta, there's articles left and right about how Atlanta is turning into a corporate rental market where lots of hedge fund buyers have bought up 80% of the real estate. So those buyers are truly going to become first-time buyers. So for someone looking to start the process, what would you tell them to do to better prepare? Like, are they getting any benefits from paying all these high rents?
No.
Can you count the payment history? Is there any benefit? I mean, talk to me. What can they do to better prepare?
Okay, so I would say to prepare for purchasing, know where they are credit-wise, financially, and their buying power. I always say you don't go to the grocery store, load up your basket, get to the register and say, how much money do I have? But a lot of people take that mindset when it's time to purchase. So yeah, talk to me. And so we can let you know exactly where you stand. If there's some things you need to do, it's better. Torrance and I are working on several people that have a long range game plan where, okay, there's some things that need to be corrected on your credit, but you letting me know 5-6 months in advance, as opposed to I have to be out of my apartment in 30 days. So you're getting yourself in the best position because you don't want to be in a point of desperation, where you can't make the best decision for yourself. So I would say more than anything, know where they stand credit wise, financially, and how much they can qualify for.
Vernon, give us some inspiration here. What's the craziest credit boost that you've seen somebody make from just following your advice? Like, I won't steal your thunder. I'd love to hear. What's maybe recent most effective credit boost from someone?
Okay, yeah, here we go. I had a young lady who wanted to buy a house. She wasn't working at the time, but had great credit and had money, but she needed somebody with a job for qualifying income. So she added her dad. He had no credit. So yeah, we went from no credit to him following some of the things that we advised him to do, scores in the 680 range just by doing some things. And then it took maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
No score to see.
That's the most earth-shattering bump that I've seen recently.
Right. Yeah, it seems like a lot of folks are afraid to have the lender pull their credit, and I'm obviously used to it, but I have to really coach people into it. But what would you say to those that are just afraid? So you got to pull the covers back, got to look under the engine and see what's going on.
I love to use analogies and parables. You can't go swimming if you don't want to get wet. That's one. And two, you don't walk into a doctor's office and say, "Hey, doc, what's wrong with me?" Doc has to take your blood, do some X-rays to see what's really going on the inside of you. And that credit pull is an X-ray. It tells, because sometimes people think they know, so they'll spend money that they didn't have to spend paying off things that didn't actually help them the way they thought it would. So the best thing to do is not go blind.
I need you to say that one more time because I'll have people to say, I'm ready, but I just got to pay this
Mhm.
$10,000. I said, you don't need to pay anything off. Stop
Anything.
what you're doing.
Exactly. Because paying off an old collection
Right.
does not, a lot of times doesn't have the effect that you think. It actually has an adverse effect because it's kind of reported as a new debt. So you could take that money that you were spending on something, especially like say it's charged off. You
Right.
don't have to do anything with it. You could take that money and spend it better on paying down some credit card balances, which will help increase your score, or using that money to go towards the purchase of a home. But again, don't go on the blind. Let the
Yep.
professionals do what we do.
Let's do what we do. All right. What should people expect from their loan officer? Obviously you're going to credit counsel them at the beginning. You're going to give them tips. You give financial coaching, financial
Mhm.
planning advice. What else can we expect from you, man?
Some simple things.
Yes, sir.
Your mortgage loan officer should be knowledgeable, honest, and highly communicative. Communicate, talk, communicate with you.
Communicative.
Communicative. Yes. Because I don't want any surprises but pleasant surprises for you.
Right.
So, many loan officers don't share bad information because they're afraid that it'll scare you. My theory in life is do not make me feel better, make me better. So
Mm,
if I tell you on day 2, hey, you got to handle this, it's going to get you in a better position that in day 60 you're closing and you're happy and you're crying, because I counseled you and walked you all the way through it and didn't hide things from you. I told you the truth, and you're going to appreciate me for that.
man, that's what I'm talking about. Vernon, you have them crying at the table, man.
I have a video that I have on Instagram. The young lady was like in convulsions, like
Mm,
and crying. And man, I almost shed a thug tear because I was like, why are you crying like this? She said, because I never thought that I would get it. And even throughout the process, I didn't think we would get the house. Well, we did. And, that makes all the headaches, all the, frustrations worth it for me. That's what I'm here for, to help people realize their dream of home ownership.
hey, man, help first and move on next. I had
Hmm.
a this is not necessarily about buying, but I had a tenant this week. Uh, Obviously, she had an eviction, and I convinced the owner to go with her out of a few
Hmm.
other applicants because I liked her spirit
Hmm.
and I could sense that she was on the right path. And I basically told her, I said, we're gonna roll with you. We're gonna entrust that you're on a new path and that you're going. And she bust out into tears and was just like, "Thank you for taking a chance on me." So people really appreciate it when you go above and beyond and trust in them. So trust is huge, man.
Yeah, and Torrance,
Hmm.
I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to have a foreclosure. I know what it's like when the housing crisis happened in 2008, 2009. I owned a couple of houses, went in the tank. Hiding my car from the repo man. I'm not ashamed to share these things with you
I love it.
because, by the grace of God, I'm long ways away from that. But I understand how that feels, and that feeling of despair, and that it'll never get better. So I want to. God takes us through experiences so that we can share those experiences with somebody else, and
That's
that's what
that's
I'm
it,
doing.
man. Oh my God. Uh, 2012, I had $100 to my name and did a bankruptcy as well. I was
Mhm.
buying real estate at the age of 23. I had over $1 million in real estate by the age of 24, and lost it all. Kept my main house, but
Mhm.
let it go. Essentially,
Yeah,
let go, let God, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's just funny how you, to your point, when you've hit the bottom, you're able to help everyone from there. People receive that. So thank you for
hmm,
sharing that story, man. It goes a long way. I appreciate you sharing that.
yes.
Look. I got more to fire at you, Vernon. Time is money. I know that you've got
Okay.
some clients to call back. All right, real quick. Down payment assistance programs. It's everybody's talking about it. It blew my mind that all the rental assistance, not all, one of the main rental assistance programs in Georgia ran out of money. I was like, oh my gosh. But yes, on the buying side, there is money available. Vernon, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
several programs. I mean, Georgia Dream, Atlanta
yeah,
Housing Authority, We DeKalb, Cobb County Housing Authority are just a few that I'm aware of. that are helping. They have specific criteria that the buyer needs to meet, and we can let you know about those things and what boxes that you fit into.
Boom. There we go. So y'all, money's out there. So don't let anyone tell you that there's not. All right, this is a little silly question. A little birdie told me that you play drums. You're into music, man.
I'm a music lover.
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast every Thursday, hip hop and R&B and stuff. But my uncle was a drummer at church back in Gary, and he had drums in my grandmother's basement. And if I ever want to take a trip back to my grandmother's basement, I put on some of the songs that he used to play. Well, when he got done playing, I would get on his drums, start playing, and then eventually I ended up playing at church. So that's one of my escapes. When a long day, I'll get up there and bang out for 30, 40 minutes, and I'm good.
I think of the movie Step Brothers. Don't you touch my drum set. Anyway, Bernie, I know you've seen that. If you haven't, it's hilarious. Investors ask me this all the time. I'm going to keep it moving here. Should I pull cash out of my house to go invest in real estate? I'm working with a client now. She owns a home in Florida, free and clear. She wants to buy some multifamily here in Atlanta. What do you say to that? Is it smart? Is it stupid to do? Are you crazy? What would you say?
The reason for home ownership is it's an investment tool, and you're gaining equity in your home. So why not use that equity to increase your portfolio? So yes, I recommend if you own it free and clear, or you have equity in your home, why not take the advantage of that and buy more properties, because inventory is not at its height. So the more properties you own, the better position that you're in, and the appreciation of that home is to your benefit.
Okay. All right. There it is. And they can call you for updates on how to do that. So
Yes.
we won't get in the weeds on that. All right. Here's another big question. I've seen a lot of fallout last year or the last 12 months with people being under contract but not knowing when the hell their closing date was actually going to be due to builder timelines,
supply chain.
Some builders are just building slow. They're just slow builders. You can't blame COVID anymore on why you're slow
no.
to manufacture or whatnot. But talk to me a little bit about float down options. Can it work? Can you do it? How long? I'm just give us a dummy down version of a float down option once a buyer's under contract on their interest rate.
Okay, so yeah, we have an extended rate lock product. I want to say it's roughly almost about 300 days. Don't quote me on that. I'll get specific details on about 300 days, which protects you against market volatility. However, I would recommend, the way the market is now, if you have an extended build, to just wait it out, because we're going to monitor the market 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. And if we see the market heading in a different direction, we'll let you know that. But all indicators from people that I trust say that by the time it gets warm, the rates are probably going to go down. So, just wait it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard a young lady talking about it today as well, saying that the forecast is that the rates could potentially go back to before pandemic interest rates.
I wouldn't go that far. I think maybe into the five range, which is great. Whenever people say, "Oh, rates are high," I ask them, "What is the rate on your credit card?"
And then they get quiet, right?
Yeah. So we may not see 2s and 3s again, but that's very cheap money to borrow.
Right. No, hands down. All right, here's something good for y'all out there. One of the really cool things I love about Southeast, when I first met them, Southeast Mortgage, Bernie, you've been there, so maybe you remember this. I'm throwing this at you. You and Mike Gamble used to offer a 7-day closing guarantee. So, do you still have that? But my other question is, do you guys do any lender credits or assistance to help people make this happen?
So 7 day, you can thank Dodd-Frank for that no longer being the case.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, 8 days is probably the quickest you can get something done. But we know on average we can do 10 to 15 day close, as long as the buyer has all of their ducks in a row, all their paperwork up front. And then in regards to Southeast Mortgage, because of our partnership with Remax and Torrance, we're offering a 1% lender credit towards purchasing a home, which means that on a sales price of $300,000, we're going to offer $3,000 towards your closing costs. And
Right.
as it goes up, that's more money. And what that does is reduce your cash needed at closing.
Okay, man, we appreciate that part. Thank you for that. And people need it. Money is money right now, so it can go a long way for all of us. What was I going to ask you now? All right. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So thank you for clarifying that 10-day, that you can do a 10 to 12 day, because weirdly enough, multiple offers are coming back slightly in certain parts of Atlanta are a little bit slower. Days on market is 30 days. Other parts of the city, I'm seeing 12 to 17 offers. So that actually allows a client or customer to close as cash, to appear as cash, to close just as fast as cash. So I do appreciate you telling me that.
And the key thing with that is, Torrance, if you know a buyer needs to be pre-approved, let's get them as quickly as possible so that we can vet them, have all of their documents ready, already have their verifications of employment. So when you put an offer in, we've done all the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm. Hey, no, I love it. I love it, man. Is there such thing as being pre-underwritten, truly? So you can truly run a buyer through and have a pre-underwritten. So all you guys need is an address and appraisal.
Yep. That is correct. We have that ability.
That's cool, man. That's super cool. Let's see here. If I'm working with a client and they actually get multiple offers on their house, I'm sitting at their kitchen table and we have 10 offers on the table. What advice do you have for me or any agents listening to this as to how to better advise their seller on which offer is the best offer? We'll have lender Joe Blow. We'll have mom and pop. We'll have Uncle Bubba's mortgage shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. I would tell them to lean on Torrance and his years of experience. And no, seriously, because Joe Blow Mortgage and all these people, you have to vet them and based on what you know. I mean, my buyers have gotten contracts because the listing agent saw my name or Southeast Mortgage, and they know that stands for something. And that's what I would say. That's why it's important to be local and to be vested in this market. So for your seller that's taking multiple offers, see who you recognize out of those letters. Also, what you could do on your listings is just like a builder would. Hey, you can use who you want to use, but you have to go through my lender to make sure that you say, because anybody can print up a letter and say, hey, we have a pre-approval, but that's the way the proof is in the pudding.
There it is. You're absolutely right. Let me see here. I took a really cool veterans class 2 days ago, just on, working with veterans, how great they are. Got some great testimonials to hear about some of their life stories and their journeys and things that they struggle with. So thank you to all the veterans listening out there for your service. But I learned that sometimes the spouse of a deceased veteran can take advantage of the VA benefit. Like, how does that work exactly?
So basically what we would do is request that deceased spouse's DD-214, and we would run it through the VA. And in most cases, that the living spouse can reap the benefits of that deceased spouse's VA benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So they carry the same weight that their deceased spouse would.
Even based on the income that was coming in previously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're gonna get a lot of times they'll get the deceased spouse's VA benefits.
Yeah.
And if they have another job, their job as well. We can couple those together for their qualifying amounts.
There we go. Okay. And of course, last but not least, I was gonna say, based on what you are seeing, I know I've kind of pinged you, but maybe we can round this out. What would be like some good 5 to 7 tips that you would see or that you would advise a buyer do? I'm going to reposition this question to you, Vernon. You've obviously have seen some silly or stupid things that buyers have done. So I'm going to reverse engineer it. What do you recommend that they not do or that they do? Leaving it open-ended for you to bring us home.
Don't listen to your cousin, Ricky, who bought a house back in '87. Trust the professionals on the real estate side and the mortgage side. That's one thing I would say. Two, that we talked about earlier. Don't spend money that just thinking what's wise. Lean on our knowledge and our experience. We're gonna guide you in the right direction so you spend as little money as possible on things unnecessarily. Know where you stand. Save money. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're buying a house. Just because you can get in the house, we don't want to just get the house. We want to keep the house.
Right.
And repairs and things are going to come. You can't call the rent office, so be prepared. Save a couple of dollars. It's okay to save money. What else?
No, that's big.
I would say this too. Don't be so rigid, especially if it's your first house, that I want to be in a specific neighborhood. If it has a lot of what you like, go with that the first time, because guess what? You're going to gain equity in that home, and then you can make money off of that, sell that, and get the dream house. And lean on Torrance. You might think, I want to be in this neighborhood. Torrance looks at thousands of houses for a living. He may know some things that you don't, and it may be. For instance, I live in Paulding County. Never thought I'd live in Paulding County. Lived in Cobb County for 15 years.
I remember you told me
that. Yeah, we had to buy a house. My mother-in-law moved in with us, so we needed a basement. The difference in Cobb County and 5 minutes over to Paulding County with a basement was like $60,000 or $70,000. Guess what? I'm a proud Paulding County resident right now. So I had to be flexible. Blessed are the flexible, so for they shall not be bent out of shape.
I love that. I put that on a t-shirt, Vernon. Text me that. Remember what you just said? Text me that. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. But yeah, a lot of times folks do box themselves in, and anyway, we won't get into that. So I love that. Don't box yourself in. Be open, and drive around. I think to this day, my parents had a beautiful house. I just helped them downsize a couple of years ago from that beautiful property. But they found that house on a lake from just driving around. I asked my mom, how did y'all find this? Just driving around. So you got to get outside your comfort zones and drive and go tour.
Hey, Torrance, here's something I learned the hard way. If you find a house that you like or a neighborhood that you like, I advise that you go in the day, also go at night. Because you know what I found out? There was a train tracks a couple of months we bought one time. And that train ran his horn at like 2 or 3 in the morning every morning. Talk to the people in the neighborhood. Right. Ask questions.
Oh, I love it. Hey, the old adage is go to a Walmart, go to a Publix, and go to the fire station and go at night. To your point, that's so cool, man. Well, Vernon, this is awesome. I don't want to end, but I know it's Wednesday evening. I appreciate your time for joining us. How can people reach you? How can people connect with you?
Yeah, so my phone number is 678-907-6970. Instagram at the loan closer. Those are the easiest way. My email is listed on the screen, so you can contact me there as well. I'm the guy. Some people say, well, I didn't answer it because I didn't recognize the number. I'm in 100% sale commission. I'm answering the phone regardless.
Vernon, I want to honestly say to you, I don't know how you do it. I almost thought you had someone answering for you, because you do generally pick up, man, within 5 minutes. You pick up, or I get you in 5 minutes. So thank you for being available. I appreciate that.
That's how I've been feeding my family for 25 years. So yeah, I appreciate the calls.
All right, man. Well, look, be good, brother. And look, are you a Hawks fan? Because I need to see the Hawks do things tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what? They made it through the whatever round. I just want them to battle Boston.
It always comes down to that darn Boston, but us, man.
Yeah. I just wanted to be competitive. Let's take it 5-6 games.
I agree. Let's go. All right, man. Look, be good. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk soon. Thank you, brother, for joining us. Hey, everybody. Yeah, Vernon is super cool, down to earth guy. Vernon, thank you again, man. And for everyone out there, like I said, we get the questions asked all the time. If you enjoyed this segment, shoot me a text or even reply in the comments on YouTube or Facebook, and we'll get back to you with some answers. So A lot of new things happening in real estate. A lot of new trends happening in the investment side. A lot of you know that I work on the investment side. We'll be coming out with more chats, so be on the lookout, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for tuning in to Torrance Talks.